playing video.
Sorry, Anna, no sound on the video just as yet. Just to let you know.
You all can hear me? Put your thumbs up. You can hear me? Wonderful. Good morning. Sawadee krap. Hola. Ni hao. Bonjour. Guten Tag. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum to all of you around the world. For the ones which just got up in the middle of the night. Sorry for the different time zones. To the others, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. It's a pleasure for me to be here now at the second session of today. We just had a very fantastic ITA and WADA workshop. We had amazing numbers, and now again, I can see the numbers are going up by the second. So really a big thank you to all of us. The festival is about inclusion, non-discrimination, equality, and peace promotion. We, United Through Sports, and all of us here from the world sport community, and there's so many, I would like to especially would like to say good morning, our friends from GAVE and Sport Accord, the AIMS Council, our friends from ASWAF and AWAF and ARIFs. A big, big thank you for your support. We believe that the decisions we make today will determine our tomorrow. Sports unite, and on the UTS virtual platform, we are not only equal, we are connected. We have a united message and unified dreams for the hopes and future of all our youth. The Paralympic, every Paralympic athlete has a story. And I'm sure Brett will tell us about this later. We are all different. For me, the number one skill we all have is about not giving up. If we believe in ourselves, anything is possible. Paralympians inspire us all. Anna, I'm sure, will give us a strong message about this. Today's workshop is I'm Possible. The Akitos Foundation and the IBC have put this amazing initiative in life. We are all advocates of diversity and inclusion. Nothing is impossible. And that very much opens our workshop today. It says in the word impossible clearly, I am possible. So let me introduce you our three fantastic speakers today. Brett Scott, a true blue Aussie, a 3 times Para-Olympian, which truly stands for spirit in sport. Anna Turney, Alpine skiing Paralympic athletes, and she is the fantastic example about never giving up. A wonderful good morning to both of you, and I hand the floor over to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Stefan. What an amazing introduction. We are so excited to be here with you all today. It's great to see your faces on the videos and read the chat. Welcome to the Virtual Youth Festival of Sport. What an amazing opportunity to be here. We're going to make it interactive. We're going to ask you to do lots on the chat. And so I'm Anna Turney from Great Britain, and I'm joined by Brad Scott all the way from Australia. Over to you.
Hey guys, so glad to be here today. Thank you so much for taking the time, and I'm looking through the chat bar as we speak, and the times that people are waking up just to be here today. Anna and I both really appreciate it. And yeah, look, we've been very fortunate to be able to compete for our countries. But I think the most important thing now is about giving back and helping you all achieve your goals. So again, super excited, but hey, how about we get into it? Let's have some fun. So to start with, we're just going to go through a bit of the housekeeping. What we want to do today is we really want you to be a part of this conversation. But the best way to do it with an audience this big is we're going to use the chat box. So that means, can we please keep our microphones on mute? And you are all so far doing that amazingly. So thank you so much for doing that. We might ask you to turn on your microphone at some stage just to share an answer to a question that you might have. That would be great as well. So we'll use a chat bar today to really, really communicate. I have a little bit there about raise your hand button. But what we might do is we might not even worry about that today, because I think we can really use the chat box really well to communicate to each other. And I did see, again, on the chat box that there were a few people having some issues around audio. If you do have any issues, if you can't hear myself or Anna, or you can't see the slides, please, could you start in the chat box with Mark, and then put down whatever issue you might have. Like, Mark, my audio isn't working. He will do his very best to try to help you out so you can be a part of this session. So thank you so much for everyone that is joining us today. And now we're going to go into really the next part. This is where we get to test this all out. So I've got a couple of questions for you. Firstly, some people have already done this. Where are you from? Where are you right now? We have people from Philippines, United States, UK, all over the world. But if you could please, again, just in the chat box, put wherever you were from.
Yeah, I've seen Singapore, Libya, Morocco. It's just amazing to be part of this. What an incredible bringing together of people at such a difficult time in the world. Thank you.
And how good. how good is technology? So as you heard earlier, Anna is in England, in the UK, I'm in Australia. We're co-presenting and we're thousands of miles apart. And here you are, all from around the world. Isn't the beauty of technology right now to really, truly connect to one another and to be able to go on this journey together? And it's still filling up, Anna. It's crazy. So the next question, thank you so much for sharing where you're from. The next question, I know the audio wasn't working, but that was a highlights reel from the Paralympic Games in the Rio Games of 2016. Anna and I would love to know, how did that make you feel? What emotions did you feel when you watched that? Were you excited, inspired, or did you have something else? For me personally, some of you already might know, I got to compete at those games. I was able to run in front of that audience, and it was so inspiring, so motivating. But the energy from competing at Paralympics is what I remember. So yeah, it was a great experience. And the chat bar is flooding with answers, inspiring, amazed, motivated. What about you, Anna? What did you feel throughout that?
Me, every time I watch any of those Paralympic things, I almost cry. I get so excited and emotional about just seeing what people can do. I mean, it is a message to the world that we can all make changes in the world when we watch what the Paralympics are doing, isn't it just amazing? So many emotions are flooding this chat bar. It is so great to see that you're all engaging with us. And I think it's time now. We now know that the text bar works, the chat box works. So Anna, what do you reckon? We get into it? Let's do it. Do you know what I've just seen on the chat? Anything is possible, and this is the message I get from watching those Paralympians. So 15 years ago, I was 26 years old. I had a spinal cord injury, broke my back, was told that I had to be a wheelchair user for the rest of my life. And I remember lying in hospital feeling terrified, thinking, how will I live my life as a wheelchair user? But I watched the Paralympics and I was inspired. And I went on to become a Paralympian, as you know, competed in 2 Paralympic Games, 2010 in Vancouver and Sochi 2014. I won World Cup medals, and my life is wonderful. I'm so fortunate to have the opportunities I have, to have the family. This is my little girl, Sylvie, who's asleep, so hopefully she won't wake up right now. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. And my husband, Pete, and we're expecting another baby, so that's exciting. And now I've retired from sport, but I do public speaking, I do youth work, and my favorite thing of all is working with athletes and young people from all over the world. So this is a proud Paralympian international festival in Italy that I did a few years ago. And actually Brad and I were meant to be going to the Tokyo Paralympics to educate the athletes and teams in the Tokyo Paralympics, but of course COVID-19 happened and we weren't able. But we're so fortunate to have the opportunity to be with you today here. So really, let's all make the most of this. How about you, Brad? Let's hear your story.
Yeah. Oh, Anna, obviously, as you heard, everyone, Anna is an absolutely amazing athlete and an amazing person. I was very fortunate. You can see a nice little photo there of me running on the track. That was back in 2012 at the Rio Paralympic Games. I grew up in a country town. Basically, sport was everything to me. All I wanted to do was sport. Unfortunately, there was a few people telling me, no, I can't do it because my disability, my cerebral palsy, was going to stop me. However, I used that as my energy. I used that as my motivation. I went out there and really strived to be the best I could be. And that led to a Paralympic Games. So lucky to be able to go out there and wear the green and the gold of Australia and to go and run in front of such amazing audiences. After the Rio Paralympic Games in 2016, I retired. After I retired, I took up Paralympic soccer. I never played soccer before or football. I never played football before. And I ended up getting selected to play for the Australian team. And I was able to go to an Asian Cup in Iran and also to a World Cup in Spain last year and play as a striker in soccer. So I guess my message to everyone here is that all the things I learned from my athletics days helped me out to become a good soccer player. So with this stuff today, that we're teaching you, it's not necessarily that that's going to be exactly what you do, but the things you learn can help you out in different ways. And I was just so great to have amazing teachers and amazing people around me. And the best part is now I have 3 amazing people around me, and that includes my beautiful wife and my 2 gorgeous boys. And we also have like a farm of animals. So very, very lucky to be able to live the life that I live, and sport has been a big part of that. And now I love my disability. My disability is probably the greatest thing that ever happened to me, because it's given me so many chances to be able to go out there and be the best I can be. So now let's get on to you. This is all about you. You've heard enough from Anna and myself about us. We want to help you become the best that you can be. And so today we're really going to touch on a few areas that we think will help you go out there and strive to be the best. Firstly, we're going to learn about the Paralympic values. Now, these are very important because this is what motivates us. This is what helps us to go out there and do those amazing things, not just outside, but it's more important within. So we're going to learn what they are and why they're important. Then we're going to go into inclusion. And I know right now it's hard for some people with certain types of disabilities, or even without disabilities, to feel like they're a part of something. So we're going to go through human rights and the impact of the UN, but also we're going to go through a little bit about an introduction to the I'm Possible program run by the International Paralympic Committee. Now, we are going to have a quiz in that section. So it's going to be fun. You've got to make sure you got your turn questions. You're going to see how we go in that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Then lastly, we're going to go into accessibility in sport and in life. Not just what accessibility is, but how it impacts you and the role that you can play from here. The things that you can do to help make sure that people feel included, that people have access, that you yourself feel like you can reach the goals that you want to, you can be the person that you want to be. So we're very excited to go through this today, and Anna's going to take us through the first part.
Yeah, so the Paralympic values. So a value is a set of standards that an individual or society believes are good: honesty, kindness, discipline, respect. And the Paralympics has 4 set values, which the Paralympians show or try to show. So we're going to start with see if you can guess what they are. So the first one begins with C. You can see this ski racer is racing down 100 kilometers an hour on one leg, racing downhill here. Oh yes, Christian's already there with the answer. Nice. So many people are flooding in with the answer. Brilliant. Yes, thank you for your participation. Straight on it. So Paralympic athletes try to show the world what they can do, even with their disabilities. You can see in Alpine skiing, the vision impaired athletes like Millie from Great Britain aren't able to see, they have some degree of blindness, and they still race downhill 120 kilometers an hour behind somebody. So they have headsets. They can hear the person in front of them is saying, turn, we're coming up to a drop, here's a jump. It's amazing to watch and to do. So she showed real courage, Millie Knight. The second Paralympic value.
There are a few people that are already jumping the gun and putting in the answers. I love it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What's this? When you're trying really hard to do something and it's difficult. Yes, a lot of people have got that. Brilliant. This is wonderful. So wow. Determination. When you have the toughness and you just keep working, people will say, no, you can't do that. That's not possible. But the Paralympics shows people what is possible often. And we can all do that. We can all strive. So, for example, Akeem Stewart from Trinidad and Tobago, he's a world record holder in shot put. That's where they're holding like a 7-kilo shot put. It's like a tub of paint. It's that heavy, and he throws it the length of 5 cars. That's 19 meters. It's absolutely phenomenal. So he just
that's huge.
Yeah. When have you showed determination. Can you write in the chat bar an example when you've showed real determination? How about you, Brad?
Yeah, well, I guess whenever we strive to be the best that we can be, there is always going to be obstacles in our way. And throughout my athletics career, there were many times where I thought I didn't enjoy training. I didn't want to do training. I didn't want to do certain things, but I was determined to get the results that I wanted to get to. So my goal was to go out there and win gold. I wanted to go and be the best. So even though there was those things that I didn't want to do, I knew to be the best I could be, I needed to do them. So I was determined to make sure I didn't let those stop me from achieving my goal. So very, 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 very lucky, but also very determined to make that happen.
Wow.
And some great answers coming through, some absolute great answers coming through. Wherever I feel nervous for a fight, I was tired and continue to push through. Good work, Gabriella. And also you participate in boxing and kickboxing, so that makes a lot of sense there. You need a lot of determination to be able to fight through in those situations, and great determination. So thank you very much, Gabriella. And we have another one. If you have the passion in your sports, nothing is impossible. Beautiful. Love it. And whenever I was fighting and I felt like I can't do more, how many times do we as people feel like we're constantly challenged? We feel like we've got no energy. We've got nothing left. But there's something inside of us. There's something inside of us that makes us fight, that makes us push through and go that little bit further. And that's that determination really coming out. So thank you so much for everyone who's sharing that. I think people are already getting on to the next one here, Anna.
Yeah,
I think we've already got about 50,000 answers. Loving it.
So here we go. Inspiration. The next one, which is so connected with determination, because when you're inspired, when you see the role models, what the people you're watching are showing is possible, it's so inspiring. That's what the main thing I think from the Paralympics. So in Rio in 2016, in one of the 1500 meter races for the vision impaired athletes, the fastest four ran faster than the Olympic gold medalist. I mean, I know the Olympics, they had a tactical race, and so they tactically did it slowly, but to see these Paralympians and how fast they're able to run, well, like you, Brad, I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. So I wanted to ask, who are your role models? For me, when I lay in hospital, I remember watching the Paralympics and just being inspired by them. And then I came out of hospital, I was gradually getting fitter and stronger. And I met a woman, a young woman who was riding a hand bike, you know, these recumbent bikes. And she was obviously training really hard up the road. And I actually stopped and spoke to her. Rachel Morris, she became one of my inspirations. She trained so hard. She's competed in 3 Paralympic Games, 1 Paralympic medals in 2 different sports. And she's always got a smile on her face. She's got love in her heart. It's so inspiring for me. So will you share some of your role models? Maybe you have already in the chat and I haven't seen them yet.
Penny Clapcott, I think, is an ex-Paralympic swimmer with an incredible circus artist, was my inspiration. Thanks so much, Rick. Really appreciate that answer. I love when I see family mentioned here. My parents are big role models for me and helping me get my goals as well. So I do appreciate that. And Julia, thank you so much. You're so kind. She said, Anna, Julia said that you and I are her role models. So
thank you. Well, I want to shout out to Rick because I've actually met this guy in England. He does, now forgive me if I say the name of it wrong, but it's like cheerleading, like what they do in America, where he is in a wheelchair and he has a cheerleader standing on his shoulders doing cheerleading. Really? It's phenomenal.
I have to mention Gabriella again here. Her answer is awesome. I do love this because Caster Semenya, who's an Olympic 800-meter runner for South Africa, she has had she's had to overcome a lot of things in her life to be able to not only become an athlete, but now to prove her worth as a person. So I think you're right there, Gabriella. She is a great role model. She is living life the right way. She has to constantly fight just to prove that she belongs. But yeah, I think whenever you're in a situation and the odds are against you and you see other people able to overcome that and to become the best they can be, they are great role models. And my teachers and my parents as well. Guys, some great answers. And Alexander, Carolyn, I think from wrestling from Aaron, thank you so much. I think we could go all day.
Yeah, I know, me too. There's Norrell Haji said his coach or a coach is his inspiration, and I hear that as well. The coaches, the athletes take the glory, but the coaches are there working day in, day out to help them. And we couldn't do it. You couldn't do it without coaches, right, Brad?
No, well, to be honest, my coach is probably my greatest role model. Also, I should say was my coach, a Ukrainian lady named Irina Divoskina. Absolutely amazing. She knew me better than I knew myself, and she taught me not only what it was to be an athlete, but what it was to be a professional athlete and then to be the best. And so she took me as a kid who knew nothing, and she taught me everything. But it wasn't that she just told me to do things. She taught me how I was doing it, why I was doing it, so I'm able to now go and teach others. So she provided me with a gift. So she took the time and the patience to do that. So I really value coaches personally, and I think they are absolutely amazing people.
Me too, absolutely. So the last and final Paralympic value, beginning with E, it means fairness. So everyone should have equal rights. Yeah, oh, look at this. The answers are flooding in now. Equality. So we are all equal. Wherever we're from, whatever we look like, whatever we sound like, we are all equal. And Paralympic athletes challenge stereotypes and change attitudes. You've said you feel inspired, but watching things like the Paralympics does help to increase inclusion and to break down those barriers. So there is less discrimination for people with disabilities, for all different disabilities. It's powerful. For example, Zahra Nemati from Iran, and I know we have some people here watching from Iran. Thank you for being here. The first Iranian woman to win gold in the Paralympic or the Olympic Games. So she competed in both Paralympic and Olympics at Rio 2016. And for me, most importantly, she spoke at a United Nations panel in 2014 about disability and inclusion in sport. And, you know, we all have a role to make a change in life. And she's just really shown that, hasn't she?
Oh, and I actually, if it's okay, I would love to share a little bit of a story about my own personal journey through this. Because she's amazing, don't get me wrong, absolutely amazing. But only this is something that I went through, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of people that can agree with me. When I grew up, I hated the fact I had a disability. I despised it. I went to bed crying, wishing that next day I woke up, my disability would be gone. That didn't happen. I did not want to go out there. I didn't want to be someone with a disability. It took me a long time and I thought I was less. I thought I didn't have the same value, that I wasn't equal to my able-bodied peers, and I put myself beneath them. And it took me a long time to understand that everyone in this world has the same worth. We are all worth the same, but it's what we choose to do with our worth that adds a value. And that's really where I look at equality. Equality, we all start out on an equal playing field, but it's how we choose to impact the world and all the good things we choose to do that really go and add positive value to the world that have the greatest impact. And you look at Zahra here with what she did. She was able to understand her position, her value, and the value she could add to the rest of the world. And she took that upon herself. Just like everyone here, you all have the ability to be the best that you can be, and you can impact so many people. And equality is a starting point from that, but it's how we choose to use equality to really go out there and be the best we can and bring people along on the journey with us. So, yeah, look, equality is such an important trait and it's such an important value to have. And as a Paralympic value, it's probably the most important out of all of them, I think, personally.
Yeah, me too. It's so powerful. And did you know what the para in Paralympics stands for?
Well, that's a good question.
Bonus question.
That's a great question.
What does para Paralympic staff.
We got to stop Rick from answering all the questions. I think he knows them all. So
yeah,
I'm
paraplegic too, Dantrell, but actually, yeah, here Mohammed's got it as well. Christina, it's parallel. So this is like equality. Oh, I love that. It's such a great quiz question. It means parallel, like the same, equal.
The analogy I use is two train tracks going in the same direction. So it's two train tracks going in the same direction. Both serve their own purpose, but at the same time, they're both doing what they need to do. So yeah, great work. Alongside the Olympics, exactly right, Rick. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to go into inclusion for all. So I'm sure we can all agree the Paralympic value is there. That journey was great. We're now going to step into inclusion for all, and Anna is going to show us a great video. If the audio does not work, we'll stop the video. That's okay. We don't need it. But I think this is so important to share the I'm Possible program and what the IPC is doing to ensure that kids all around the world are able to go out there and really learn about the Paralympic movement, but understand what they can do and the value they can add. So please pay attention, because the quiz that I spoke about earlier, the answers will be a part of this video. But as I said, if it doesn't work, we'll find another way. That's okay. But let's have a watch.
So as the sound didn't work, hopefully the admin, the superstar technical people on the other end, the UTS president, are going to play the video for us. Does that work your end? Or I could try and share it, but I'm concerned the video might.
We can give it a go. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Give us 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
I have to admit, I'm IT challenged, you know? when you talk about microchips, I bring the tomato sauce. So I need to ask someone else.
Okay, well, listen, I'm trying to play it. Let's see.
Working. Perfect.
I'm Possible is an exciting new international educational program for learners aged 6 to 12. Created by the International Paralympic Committee. I'm Possible aims to spread the values of the Paralympic movement to young people everywhere, broadening their understanding of people with impairments and promoting inclusion through parasport. At the heart of the Paralympic movement is the universal human right to participate in physical activity, sporting competitions, and every other aspect of life. The World Health Organization report says that over 1 billion people, about 15% of the world's population, have some form of disability. The UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, Article 4, states that states parties undertake to ensure and promote the full realization of all human rights without discrimination of any kind on the basis of disability. The Convention aims to ensure that people with impairments can participate in mainstream sporting activities at all levels. Disability-specific sporting and recreational activities. Gain access to sporting, recreational and tourism venues. And have equal access for children with disabilities to play, recreation and school activities. I'm Possible is an ideal way for young people to engage with the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities and celebrate its values. Through the programme, young people are inspired by the Paralympic values: courage, determination, inspiration and equality, and by the para-athletes who embody these values. They are also encouraged to have a go at playing parasports. The I'm Possible resources are flexible and engaging, including a variety of lesson plans, classroom activities, and films. I'm Possible raises the profile of parasports, as well as inspiring young learners to champion equality and inclusion, not only at school, but also within their wider communities. Working in partnership with national Paralympic committees and education ministries, I'm Possible will be launched all over the world. Join us and be a part of the movement. To find out more about I'm Possible, visit our website.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Anna. Great video there. It really shows the value of education. It really shows the value of really getting out there and connecting with people. But now on to the next part. We're going to go into a quiz. So we've got to get our brain juices flowing, ready to go. And we're going to go into the next steps. I hope you're excited, because I am. I feel like we're on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We're not going to give away $1 million though, but this should be great fun. So Anna is going to be the driver in this. I will be the announcer. I'll be the person asking the questions. So are we ready to go? First question. What is the UN? Is it A, United Nachos, B, United Nations, C, Universal Nations, or D, Unlimited Netflix? Oh, I got a lot of B's. No D's. No one thinks it's unlimited Netflix. I like it limited Netflix. So it is B, correct, everyone. Well done. So congratulations. B is the right answer there. Great start. Great start. Now let's go on to question number 2. Yeah, I wish it was D too, Christopher. That would be nice. That would be so nice, wouldn't it? Okay. What is the United Nations? Is it A, all the football clubs with United in its name, B, nations that speak the same language, C, governments of member countries working towards peace and better living standards, or D, nations that are joined by borders? Look, Anna, these guys are too smart. These guys are too smart. Well done, everyone. Great work. C is definitely the answer. Governments of member countries working towards better peace and living standards. Okay, now they're going to get a little bit harder after this, okay? So question 3, what is the universal human right at the heart of the Paralympic movement? A, only some people can participate in sport. B, everyone should be able to participate in physical activity, sport, and every aspect of life. C, people can only choose one sport to play. Or D, I like this D one though, everyone should have free Netflix. No D's, any D's? No D's. No D's. Sorry? I know, but how good would it be to have free Netflix? There's definitely a theme on this for me. But no, you're right, everyone. You guys are so smart. And Jessica's answered about 12 times. Thank you, Jessica. The answer is B. Everyone should be able to participate in physical activity, sport, and every aspect of life. Question 4. Now, this was in the video, so I hope we remember this one. What does Article 4 in the UN's Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities state? A, promote human rights without discrimination because of disability. B, all people with disabilities should be able to play golf. C, promote human rights only for persons without disabilities. Or D, promote human rights only on the weekend if you feel like it. You guys, okay. I should have made this harder. I love chicken nuggets with the B answer. That's cool. That would be nice as well. But I think being able to do anything they want to do also allows people to play golf. So yes, the answer is A, promote human rights without discrimination because of disability. Lucky last question. What have we got? Let's see if we can do it. Oh, it's a bit of a tricky one. Back to the start. What are the Paralympic values? A, courage, time management, instant, and equality. B, confident, determination, inclusion, equality. C, wealthy, determination, inspiration, and passionate. Or D, courage, determination, inspiration, and equality. Well, there's a few mixed ones here. Now, I did make this one a little bit trickier, but the general flow is quite right. The answer is D. Congratulations, guys. Really good job. Now, let's go on to the next part. How many of those 5 did you get right? Can you chuck that in the text and the chat bar, please? That'd be great.
You know, I have never seen the chat bar go so fast.
Oh, it is incredibly fast. All of them. Well done, Chantel. Congratulations, Rick. Good work.
5 out
look,
of 5.
Yeah, guys, look, you already know this stuff.
Do you know?
And well done too.
Yeah.
Well done, Duran. Well done. 4 is still a great effort. And I love that. Who got 6? Sasha got 6. 66, Sasha. Wow. There was a few other quiz questions I didn't even know about. But no, really, really good work, everyone. Absolutely awesome stuff.
Thank you.
Really proud of you.
Yeah, brilliant. 3, 4, 5, whatever you got, just watching this and taking part, it's brilliant. Thank you all so much. So,
do you think the rights and dignity of persons with disabilities are protected in your community? I know that's a really big question, but let's have a think about that for a little while. You don't have to put your answer in straight away. I would love to hear what you think. Are people in your community, are their rights as a human being protected at the moment? Yes, great. That's a great one to hear.
Or are there some, is it sometimes it's harder for people with disabilities to get jobs or to live in a the way they want to live, to be independent? It's improving. Yeah, so Farhana has said it's improving. It is improving in England too, but we still have a way to go. We can still make this better. Yeah, developing again. It's certainly better than before. Thank you, Vikram, for sharing that.
Brilliant work. Great answers, guys. I do love it. I do love that there is a normal flow of saying yes, and I do love the honesty too of some people saying that there is work to be done, that it's getting better. We still need to educate. Perfect, Chantel. Love that. Now, we would love to see it to the point where it doesn't matter if you have a disability or not. You have the same access, the same ability to go out there and be the person that you would love to be. So if that's the case, if that's where we want to get to, what more can be done? What do you think our governments, our local governments, even our community could do to ensure that anyone, doesn't matter if they have a disability or not, can be who they want to be? And Mon got that straight away. We need to educate the community. I do love that answer. That's a really good answer. That's one element of it. Yes, encourage and educate them. Beautiful. They're being treated, people with disability, Indira, people with disability in our country treated priority. Great. Love hearing that. Gabrielle, inclusion and equality.
Yeah.
Good work, everyone.
It is getting better. Gabrielle said there's not enough information broadcasted for people to see in the manner of people who do it. We need more disabled people out there showing that these things are possible. And to be more informative on social media. Social media is so powerful, isn't it? I think can make a real difference. And
social media has played such a big role in all of that. You're right, Anna. You look at how the Paralympics is now broadcasted too, as a sporting event. People all around the world can now see what's possible. And I heard this very good saying, you can't be what you can't see. So as people with disability, if we can't see someone out there who is similar to us going out there and living their best life and having access to all these sort of things, we don't know that we can too. And Anna, you used your example perfectly, where you met that lady who was using the hand cycle, and then that inspired you to go out there and be who you want to be. If you didn't see her, who knows what path you would have led. So that's the beautiful thing about going out there and being involved in educating, is that people start to see this. People are aware that there are amazing things that they can also achieve given the chance.
Yeah, and I saw somebody mentioned in the chat about sport that Nicole said there should be the same support to athletes as to para-athletes. And often there isn't, the Olympic athletes have more support. The disabled people aren't always supported, whether it's at the top level or whether it's at the grassroots level, the beginner sport. But the more we can get out there and show people what we can do, the more we can support in our local communities, the more we can make a difference.
And Vikram, great response. Spread awareness and education. People should be educated from an early age to treat disability with respect. Brilliant, I do love that. And you think about it, when we're in school at the early years, even before school, we are so easy to educate in the right way and be influenced in the right way. And I think any exposure to people with disability and I guess their value that they add really does help that individual and hopefully the community really start to appreciate people with disabilities. So I can see Anna's already on to the next part, and it's a great segue really, because we're talking about what can we do as a community. We talked about local government, we talked about organisations, and now we're on to accessibility, which is such a big part of that.
Yeah, so what is wrong with this ramp? What's the problem? Can you see the difficulties people might have? Yeah, Kylie said the wrong design. How is it wrong? How would this be difficult for a wheelchair user? Oh yeah, it's not touching the ground. That's it for Hannah. It's too high. This is an extreme wheelchair ramp. It would be difficult for me to go up it, and to go down it, I would have a big bump at the bottom when I dropped off it.
You say difficult, but would that almost be impossible to get up there on that ramp?
Yeah, it would.
You could make it happen.
In pregnant state, it's definitely impossible. But yeah, this is not a good ramp. It's not a good ramp. The extreme, I was in the snow a lot, so my wheelchair skills are very good, and I have a really good wheelchair. But this ramp is almost impossible, definitely for most people. It's dangerous, Gabriella. It's failed. Yeah, exactly. So sometimes.
So what are some ways? Sorry, you'll keep going. Sorry, Anna.
I was going to say sometimes the organisations make adaptations what they think will help, but they don't help. This ramp is not going to help people very much. It's that we need to talk more with disabled people when we make these changes, and work out the best way.
And when they designed that, they obviously thought about that with the right intentions. They wanted to do the right by people with disability, but obviously they didn't get there in the end. As we can see, that is a bit of a fail. So just quickly, what are some ways do you think we could make that a little bit better?
Yeah,
is it just reaching the ground? Or is there other ways do you think we could make that a bit better for people with disabilities who might need that?
Reducing the gradient, Chantal, again, yeah. So a more gradual ramp, because it's very steep. And
1 in 12, beautiful, Rick, good work, mate. So for just to clarify what 1 in 12 gradient means, that means for every 12 metres in length, it should go up 1 metre. In Australia, our law is that it has to be 1 in 14, but I'll speak a little bit later. I'm working with my local government to make sure everything at minimum is 1 in 20. So that means for every 20 metres length, it only goes up 1 metre, which makes it much easier for not only people in wheelchairs, but parents with prams, older community also trying to walk as well. It makes it so much easier for them to access. And remember, I'm only one person, but I went and had those conversations and brought more people in with disability. And it created so many good conversations for the government to make changes to ensure that this stuff like this never happens again.
Yeah.
It's still a work in progress, but it's great.
We can make very real changes, can't we? And it's really great that you're working with them, Brad, because you have a better understanding. So how can we make life easier for people with disabilities? Some examples in the pictures here. What do you think those examples are showing? Involve them. Yes. Noral Haji, thank you. Yeah, that's right. Involve people so there's more understanding. Technology, Mohammed has said. Yeah, it's wonderful. So my friend with vision impairments, he said, and he can't see hardly anything at all, but he's using technology, computers that speak to him and write down what he says to them. And also he has these things called bump dots. So because he has a vision impairment, he sticks stickers onto the buttons of his devices, so he doesn't have to see where the buttons are, he can feel them. It's really clever. And what is there in your country to help people with disabilities?
Amir had a great answer, and it's the perfect word I love in all of this: universal design. He used the term universal design, and that's exactly what the goal should be. It's not about people with disability. It's about everyone being universal. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, who you're taking with you, you should all be able to access it. So great answer there. And look, there are so many great answers coming through around technology. Absolutely brilliant. We should develop new use of full technologies. Great. Thank you, Zahra. And there was a few others earlier saying interview people. Great. Speak to people with disabilities. And that's what we really need to encourage. And to give you a little bit more background into the work that I've been doing in my local country, I've teamed up with a group of people with all different types of disabilities, including wheelchair users who are quadriplegic, including people that are visually impaired or blind. And we work with our local government to help design places. So they do all the designing, but we just help with making sure that it just doesn't meet law standard, but it is universally designed. And there's a term that I'll share today, which I love, called best practice. And that means that is the absolute best we can do for anyone. And it goes over and beyond the government standards. And that's what if I could encourage you all to do something, if you feel like that you're not getting what you deserve, if you don't feel like other people in your community are getting what they deserve, use your voice, use your opportunity, work with other people, and go and have a conversation with your local government, with people in power, to be able to make that happen. If you don't feel comfortable in doing that, talk to others who can try to help build that conversation, because the answers I can see coming through today, and I'm sure Anna's looking at this as well, they're amazing. They're perfect. You all know this. You all live and breathe this. And you are the powerful ones that can really go out there and make these changes. So really good work, everyone. I'm so, so proud.
Yeah, me too. It's brilliant to see. I wanted to mention Ahmed has written access in schools, or even creating special schools for people with disabilities, which can be really good. In England, many disabled people are in normal schools, but they also have special schools, which I work in. So I get to work with people with learning disabilities, with all sorts of different physical disabilities. And it's such an amazing environment to be in, to be able to help people.
There are two answers here that I quickly want to share, because I think they're absolutely amazing. Mind you, they're all amazing. But can I just say, Gabriella said that they have a pedestrian crossing with a sound that goes off that indicates if a person should stop for cars or proceed. This is for people who are visually impaired. Great. That's great to hear they're doing that in South Africa. And also from Olia, didn't realise how inaccessible my city was until I had a baby and started using a stroller. Horrible access for wheelchair users. We should put ourselves in the shoes of our friends and colleagues to understand how access can be improved. Brilliant. Exactly right. So if you do ever have the chance to become as fortunate to be a parent and you start using a stroller, you start to realize all these things that are on around you, and then you start avoiding them as well. If they're hard to access, you don't go there because it's hard to do. So really, it's about ensuring, if we want people to use these things, if we want people to be included and involved, we have to give them the opportunity to actually get there in the first place. So guys, thank you so much for these responses. This is far better than what I could ever have anticipated. It's made my day. So this is great.
Me too. It's wonderful to be here. How about sport? Some people have brought up sport. How is sport made accessible for people with disabilities? You can see in this image, the people have vision impairments and they have to wear blackout goggles. It's goal ball, and it's brilliant to watch. I don't know if you have the opportunity, check it out. And also check out vision impaired football. All of the audience have to be quiet. I saw it in London 2012 in the Paralympics, and it's so exciting being there, watching and like they're scoring penalties, they're playing like sighted footballers. It's amazing.
I have a friend who plays golf, and he's a paraplegic. He doesn't use his wheelchair to go and play on the course. He uses this motorized machine that he can stand up in. It straps his legs in, and it's also got his golf clubs there as well. And he is able to drive it to a golf ball and obviously line it up and swing, because his arms work okay. It's just his legs that he struggles to use. So this allows him to play golf. He's not a Paralympian. He's not someone who wants to go out there and be a world champion. He just wants to go out there and play sport like anyone else. Technology has been so incredible to make sport accessible. But can I argue that the best way to make sport accessible is for people who don't have disabilities to be educated and aware that these opportunities should be able to be available for anyone. So it doesn't just come back to technology. It also comes back to the education and having conversations with people, because it can be mainstream sports. So those sports that are for people without disabilities, that aren't built for people with disabilities, can also be for people with disabilities if the right conversations are had. So we can remove what we call barriers and create more opportunity. So it's not just always technology. It's sometimes just having a conversation and help with the education around what opportunities should be there for people with disabilities.
Yeah, and on that, Marietta has written in the chat, support people with disabilities the way they need, when they need it. And that is so central, I think. We have to listen to people and support them. I couldn't have done what I've done without support. It's been the most important thing, I think. And also the community, like having an opportunity to play in a disability sport. I've learned so much from other disabled people.
I just want to share one thing. This is a bit of a personal thing, and I wish you were all in Australia right now so I could share this with you. As you heard, I was very lucky to play football or soccer for Australia. I have worked with my local government, my local community, and my local football association to provide the largest inclusive football tournament in my state, in Western Australia. And what that is it's people with and without disabilities playing football together. It's not just for people with disabilities, and it's not for people without disabilities. It is for people so they can come together and celebrate the most beautiful thing, and that's sport and community and building friendships and everything else. So I'm so excited, and I wish you were here to be able to be a part of that. But it is a great way for people without disabilities to learn that people with disabilities are able to be there and they belong just as much as anyone else. So I am super excited. So sorry, I just wanted to share that because that's something that I'm very, very proud of and can't wait to see happen.
Thank you, Bud. That sounds phenomenal. I wish I could be there. But it's the same. It's the same with my sport, wheelchair basketball, that I play for fun. A lot of our players on the team don't have disabilities. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference. We're all in there together. We all want to win. We all want to have fun. And that's the beauty of disability sport, I think. So what can you create to make the world a better place to improve accessibility? This is the last question.
I gave you a little bit of a tip earlier, to be honest. A little bit of an opportunity to understand that you are so powerful in this role right now. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter where you live. You can have a huge amount of impact in your hometown, and that's where it all starts. Yeah.
And Chantal is writing on the message. She's the one who does the cheerleading with Rick. So they work together to make it more inclusive.
Promote the opportunities from Mohammed. Great job. I love that. Innovate games for people with disabilities. Good work, Jessica. Educating others, help, volunteer, and support. Great. Thank you so much, John. And look, you're all saying very similar things. Spreading awareness, sharing their stories, creating opportunities. Brilliant. Such good responses, guys.
It's so
sponsoring them
to watch your answers coming in. Can I ask you to encourage you to share the chat and learn? What am I trying to say? To save the chat So if you go to the bottom of the chat bar and you click on the 3 buttons, you can save the chat and then you can keep track of that. But what you're saying, we should all support each other. So what did you learn today? What were the most important things that you learned? Maybe pick one thing, put it in the chat.
Oh, Ahmed wants to start a project. I love this, to find out the hidden talents of people with disabilities. Brilliant, great. That sounds very motivating, and I'm very excited to hear about that. The values of the Paralympics, Chantel, good job. Equality, there's so much around equality there, Anna.
Yeah.
Great to see that we can really appreciate that people with disabilities are just as equal and valued as anyone else, or should be anyway.
Yeah, it all starts in the community. Sport is for all, for everyone. Equal opportunities is so powerful, isn't it? Respect. Oh, thank you. Amazing. And what will you do to help? People have already put some of these things without even being asked. But what can you do to help because we can all make a difference. We can all change things, and we all have a role to do that. You know, one person changes something, we all learn from it.
A lot of encouragement and a lot of awareness building. I do love this. This is so good, because right now we have over 300 people in this session. That's 300 people now that can go out there and make their own little changes in their own local community. And you imagine then it just grows from there. That local community can go out and help become more positive and more encouraging around people with disability. Then that can spread. Remember, everything only starts with an idea. And then it takes us to go out and make that happen and to make those changes. So this is so good to see, guys. And I've said this so many times, but I'm so proud. I'm so very, very glad that I'm here today, because this is great. We all play such an important role, and you all understand the value that you possess in this space.
Me too. It's so exciting. I want to pick out something that Dontrell Knight Mitchell has said: educate, include, inform. I mean, that says it all. I hope we've done some of that for you today. It's just been amazing, hasn't it, Brad, to see the responses, to see the interaction, and to be part of this festival that you're all involved in. We can all, we can all make a difference. It's so exciting.
It's been absolutely amazing. And obviously, we don't want this to end here. We want you to go out there and make those changes. But if you do want to get in contact with the International Paralympic Committee or learn more about the On Possible program, Anna's putting up some details for you now to go and have a look at that. So please feel free to go out there and educate yourself a little bit further, but also really remember, at the end of the day, it just starts with that one action. And someone said there, go out there and live my best life. Love that. If that's all we can do, if everyone went out there and did that, the world would be an absolutely amazing place. So Anna and I are so glad to join you today, and we hope that you really took something out of this. And I know I've learnt a bit, and I'm sure you have too, Anna. And yeah, we can't wait to see what happens after this. Yeah,
there is nothing impossible, as Mohammed says. Absolutely anything is possible. If we can get the I'm Possible program into more schools all over the world, then that will be a wonderful thing for changing the world. So a massive thank you to everyone who's taken part, who's written in the messenger, who's been here today. It's been such a joy. And also to UTS, brilliant job. United through sport. I love it, and I love what you're doing on Instagram. If you get a chance, have a look at the little Instagram videos that United Through Sport are putting up, because they're really inspiring. Thank you so much.
And I think this is probably the first of its kind too, to really do an education around the Paralympic movement to such a large audience. So remember, guys, you're all a part of that. Now, we're going to try to do something. If you're still on and you want to try this, we would love for you to be a part of it. Anna's going to drop the slides, and we're trying to get a big screenshot so that the team at UTS will do this. What we're asking for you to do now is, if you can, turn on your cameras. Turn on your cameras, and we'll see if the guys at UTS can direct us through this. What about you, Stefan? You said you're tech savvy. You can do all that, can't you?
So we're going to take a picture of everyone all together. We have like 13 different sets of all the people, but are you all ready to smile? Are we?
Wow! Look at that.
Get some thumbs up to give us a wave.
Awesome, guys. That was so cool.
It takes a little while. We've got 13 different ones to come through. And do you know what I love? I love seeing the children on Imrad. I can see your children, and give us a wave, give us a smile, give us a thumbs up. Yay! I can see Lucian is really waving. Thank you.
Wow.
Yay.
So many people. Hey, guys. So great.
Yeah, get the thumbs up. Oh, thank you. What a joy to be here and go out there and make a real difference, because we all can. You know, we all will, little by little. Like you said, Brad, it all starts with one action, with one person.
Okay.
So I think we're there, guys. So thank you so much, and I think we're probably gonna end the session shortly, unless Stefan, there's anything you would like to add before we close today's meeting.
We've lost the sound somewhat. But massive thank you to everyone. Great job. Just go out there and make a difference. Bye.
See you guys. Thank you so much.
We can. The mic is on.
I think the audio. I think the audio, Stefan, is not working on your end.
So